morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a really amazing day. So I just finished doing some yoga in my Vibe, which is a group of people that I do personal development with every morning, which is a really powerful way to be able to start the day. So we start with a quote. We do a presentation on personal development. We might do some yoga or some exercise. We do some other things together. We have all sorts of really, really good things. We have a really powerful chat going on where everybody shares their thoughts and ideas and encourages each other. And it gives everybody a really strong boost to be able to start the day. So it is one of my favorite ways to start the day. I'm going to say a good morning to everybody that is following and saying hello here. I'm wondering whether this is the same Malcolm that I'm in the group with in the morning. But I'm not sure. And Frederick, I'm wondering whether you are Dutch like me. So there's a couple of things going on the Bigo. We've got Mladen over on the Zoom. And yes, you can watch live on Zoom as well. So let's get into it. It is Friday. In Australia, a lot of people are a little bit more lazy on a Friday and they finish work early. But for most of us, if you're into this channel, then you're probably going to be more the type of person that's going to get really excited about getting into things and doing everything. So Danny is asking when we start, and we start every morning at 8 o'clock Sydney time. So thanks for asking. Nice to meet you. Now, Rich Dad Poor Dad in Chinese. We're not going to read it in Chinese. It's the only copy that I've still got at the moment. But I'll probably hold off buying a new copy of it until we finish reading The Art of Thinking Clearly, which is an amazing book. The Secrets of Perfect Decision Making. Don't always agree with every single chapter, but it's a good book to share my thoughts on. And eventually we might set it up so that you can also share your thoughts, which you can on Bigo. And yeah, also on the Zoom, you can actually share your thoughts. But we might open it up at some stage. But for now, I'm going to read chapter 47. Do not marvel at your existence. The self-selection bias, which is really interesting. Let's get into it so that we can get into all the other amazing things that we want to do for the rest of the day. But it's really great to start reading because reading really improves your brain. It improves the neural networks. It does so many amazing things. So let's do some reading. Traveling from Philadelphia up to New York, I got stuck in a traffic jam. Why is it always me? I groaned. Glancing to the opposite side of the road, I saw carefree southbound drivers racing past with enviable speed. As I spent the next hour crawling forward at a snail's pace and started to grow restless from braking and accelerating, I asked myself whether I really was especially unlucky. Do I always pick the worst lines at the bank, post office, and grocery store? Or do I just think I do? I have a theory on this, and my theory is that we just remember the things that are unpleasant, and we forget the things that are pleasant. And it's similar to driving somewhere. When we're driving somewhere, we remember it in order. And then on the way back, it always seems faster because we remember it in reverse order. So when we've almost arrived is the first thing we remember, and then the thing from just before that. And eventually, when you're just about home, you remember that you're almost home. So interesting how our brains trick us in these ways. Suppose that on this highway, a traffic jam develops 10% of the time. The probability that I will get stuck in a jam on a particular day is not greater than the probability that one will occur. However, the likelihood that I will get stuck at a certain point in my journey is greater than 10%. The reason? Because I can only crawl forward when in a traffic jam. I spend a disproportionate amount of time in this state. In addition, if the traffic is zooming along, prospect never crosses my mind. Yes, not thinking about it, so we don't notice. But the moment it arises and I'm stuck, I notice it. You have plenty of time to think about being stuck in a traffic jam when you are in a traffic jam. And so you put a lot of time and effort into that, and not when you're just zooming along. Just don't even think about it. The same applies to the lines, but one thing that I do notice is when I am zooming along and I see a traffic jam on the other side, I notice and I'm thankful for the fact that I am zooming along. The same applies to lines at bank counters or traffic lights. Let's say that the route between point A and point B has 10 traffic lights. On average, 1 out of the 10 will always be red and the others green. However, you might spend more than 10% of your total travel time waiting at a red light. This doesn't seem right. Imagine that you are traveling at near the speed of light. In this case, you would spend 99.99, not 10%, of your total journey time waiting and cursing in front of red lights. Whenever we complain about bad luck, we must be wary of the so-called self-selection bias. My male friends often gripe about there being too few women in their companies, and my female friends groan that they have too few men. This has nothing to do with bad luck. The grumblers form part of the sample. The probability is high that a man will work in a mostly male industry. Ditto for women. On a grander scale, if you live in a country with a large proportion of men or women, such as China or Russia respectively, you are likely to form part of the bigger group and accordingly feel hard done by. In elections, it is most probable that you will choose the largest party. In voting, it is most likely that your vote corresponds with the winning majority, because obviously, whoever wins, most people voted for them, so the chances that you voted for them are quite high. The self-selection bias is pervasive. Marketers sometimes stumble into the trap in this way. To analyze how much customers value their newsletter, they send out a questionnaire. Unfortunately, this reaches only one group: current subscribers who are clearly satisfied, have time to respond, and have not canceled their subscriptions. The other part make up no part of the sample. Result? The poll is worthless. That is very true. Not too long ago, a rather maudlin friend remarked that it bordered on the miraculous that he, yes, he, ever existed. A classic victim of the self-selection bias. Only someone who is alive can make such an observation. Non-entities generally don't consider their non-existence for too long, and yet precisely the same delusions form the basis of at least a dozen philosophers' books, as they marvel year in, year out at the development of language. I'm quite sympathetic to their amazement, but it is simply not justified. If language did not exist, philosophers could not revere it at all. In fact, there would be no philosophers. The miracle of language is tangible only in the environment in which it exists. Particularly amusing, in this recent telephone survey, the company wanted to find out, on average, how many phones, landline and cell, each household owned. When the results were tallied, the firm was amazed that not a single household claimed to have no phone. What a masterpiece. Set of brilliant thinkers in that company that phoned to see how many people owned a phone and realized that nobody didn't own a phone when they called them. Yes, we'll leave it at that for that part. So what is the important part about this chapter, in my opinion, is the fact that we need to realize that when we are looking at things, there is going to be a disproportionate way that we are looking at it. If we're stuck in a traffic jam, we're going to be thinking about it, so we're noticing it. If we're not stuck in a traffic jam, we don't notice. But we could be in zooming traffic 90% of the time and not notice. But we could be in traffic jam for 10% of the time, but it feels like, and it seems to be like 90% of the time. So I suppose it's important to, take more stock of what's going on around you during the day. So for example, I'm about to jump in the car, I'm about to head off, and I like to stay as neutral as possible on what is happening around me. If I allow my emotions to get too pent up about things, I do need to watch out for other drivers who, because I've done a lot of advanced driving. So for me, I find it challenging when other people are a little bit less skilled at their driving, or they might do some things that are a little bit crazy from my point of view. They probably look the same way at me. But the idea is to see what you can observe, and observe it from a different angle for once, and see where that takes you, because I think we get stuck in our ideas of how we observe things. Oh, I'm stuck in traffic again. Oh, this bad thing's happened to me. And so if we get focused on that, if we get stuck in that, then it holds us back, as opposed to when we open up to what is going on and seeing that everything is more or less equal, in the sense that things don't only happen to us in one particular way. And if we change our perspective on how things are happening, then we can also get a change. If we stay focused on it in the same way, then things will start to repeat and they will happen in the same way. Posty has asked if we will be streaming tomorrow. So at the moment, I'm not streaming on weekends. but I might be able to. I have not done so. I might need some time off. And somebody's been sending me something which is really nice. Somebody sent me something which I've never received before, an exclusive gift popularity card ×1. So thank you for that, amigo. Let's have a look. And there's a couple of more people that have been doing different things on Bigo. So go out and see what you can do to have a different perspective on life. Feel free to get in touch. So if you go to Instagram, business_team_6, you will find me there. And I'd love to hear from you and get in touch and get to know you. And if you want to watch a replay of this reading or see some of the readings from before, and then you can go to the Passive Cashflow Club on YouTube, and you can watch replays, you can watch past readings, you can watch and read other chapters together with me and leave your thoughts. And Amigo says, I'm new here, had some gifts to give out, so thank you. Much appreciated, and look forward to seeing you again. So I usually stream Monday to Friday at 8 a.m. in the morning and do a bit of reading and a bit of commentary. And I'm looking forward to the DMs on Instagram, because I would love to know what your thoughts are on how we can improve this, what you'd like to get out of it, what you're interested in. I really appreciate the people who are here. So thank you for coming and joining. And yes, amigo, that is Sydney time. Are you also in Sydney, by the way? Or are you somewhere else? Yes, so I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Monday. And if I do start doing weekends, I will let you know. But look forward to seeing you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. And Amigo is over in Brisbane, also a great place, especially since it's not in lockdown. And the weather is usually also a bit better up there. So that is amazing. So yes, head on over to YouTube if you want to watch some more episodes. Send me a message on business_team_6 on Instagram. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday.